Look, I mean, if the Lord Almighty came down and said, Joe, get out of the race, I'd get out of the race. The Lord Almighty's not coming down.
17 days after that interview, former President Biden stepped aside in a stunning announcement on a Saturday afternoon, the first president to do so in 60 years. Now, 1 year after that historic withdrawal from the race, his son, Hunter Biden, taking a blowtorch to the Democratic Party establishment that turned their back on his father.
James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod. And David Plouffe.
All right, let's bring in Kellyanne Conway, former senior counselor to President Trump, KA Consulting president and Fox News contributor, and Jessica Tarlov, co-host of The Five and Fox News contributor. Welcome to you both. Good to have you here today. Let's do one more of these from Hunter Biden, because he seems to be speculating on what he would do, Jessica, if he were president a few years from now. I don't know if he's considering a run, but here he is.
If I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the president of El Salvador and say, you either send them back or I'm going to invade.
Yeah. So, Jessica, helpful?
Well, it depends who you ask. As a Democrat, I would say, no, not particularly helpful right now, Hunter. As an American who wanted President Trump to bring back the people who were erroneously sent to CCOT, I'd say, yeah, that would have actually been a good approach, since it's quite clear by the fact that Albrego Garcia has been returned and Andre Hernandez is back in Venezuela, that President Trump could have always done that. So a little bit of both in that particular segment, but net, this is not a particularly happy occasion to see 3 hours of Hunter Biden out there unscripted.
Yeah, he seems unsure, Kellyanne, how many years it is until the next presidential election. Here's just one more, because all of these are pretty juicy. He's not happy with George Clooney, because remember, George Clooney was the first person really to come out and say, you know what, we got to change the lead horse here. Watch.
You, what do you have to do with anything? Why do I have to listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the New York Times to undermine the president?
Yeah, so for the person that Joe Biden said was the smartest person he's ever known, he has a pretty limited vocabulary, Kellyanne. What's your take?
He sure does. Need to bleep every other word. And this is the guy, Hunter Biden, who thinks he's some modern-era Pablo Picasso. He can't sell those paintings for $1, let alone $500,000 anymore. And instead of being Pablo Picasso, he's just basically a potty mouth punk. And this is the problem for Jessica's party. They've learned nothing in the year since Joe Biden was not removed from the White House, but removed from the ticket. And therein lies part of the problem. Kamala Harris was no better. And I think that they're saddled now. She's mentioning Hernandez and Garcia instead of mentioning Jocelyn Nagurny and Laken Riley, these terrible policies. The last 6 months of the Biden presidency were disgraceful and chaotic and hollow and shallow and scandalous. The first 6 months of the Trump administration are unbelievably. He's gotten all 20 promises delivered upon from it, and he's working on the others from his convention speech also a year ago, Martha. Our border's in order. Inflation is contained. The jobs report looks great. America is back. People fear us. A year ago, this country was dead, and we had a president barely breathing, and now it's the other way. And Hunter Biden, keep talking, because you know who you benefit? The Republican Party. Keep talking.
All right, we got to leave it there. Great to have both of you with us. Jessica, all right, real quick, Jessica.
That's not true. The country is not in perfect condition.
Well,
his approval rating is sinking in every major category, Kellyanne.
Great 6 months and counting.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We'll see what happens in the midterms. Thank you, guys.
Love you, ladies.
Jessica,
Bye.
Kellyanne,
Bye.
great to see you both. Thank you very much. So the Director of National Intelligence told